Welcome back to Cousin Chit Chat. It's a calm Zen moment because it's it's because I have allergies. When I went to the doctor said,
Don't make excuses.
it's a positive.
That sounds like
I don't want no negative energy in here. Okay, so today we're talking about
Stop trying to push me out.
visualization.
Yes.
So Nisha's gonna tell you like how to kind of get into a visualization situation, but I want to talk about. So yesterday, I've been doing like the visualization and like the manifestation journaling. Should we do this while we talk about it? So I've been doing it for a while, and studies have actually shown that your brain cannot determine what's real.
You're subconscious. Don't give me wrong information.
Your brain. I said your brain, bitch. Why don't you check on facts? This is a fact. I forgot what college.
Bitch, don't tell us again.
I forgot what college.
I almost visualized whooping her ass.
And then you would have visualized yourself drugged to the hospital from getting your ass beat.
My man will come over here.
And I will call his PO. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Frankie. I'm just kidding. Okay,
My man will watch this.
Just kidding. He could be offended by that.
Yes, he would.
For real?
I know. He'd be like, wow, Mookie.
I'm gonna keep this whole part in so he know that I really love him. Anyway, so yeah, the brain actually does. Studies have actually proven that your brain doesn't know what has really happened to you and what hasn't happened to you. So if you just have emotions, like you know how a lot of times you worry about something that hasn't really happened,
Yeah.
but your body doesn't realize the difference. It just
Yeah.
knows like the emotion of it.
Right.
So if you visualize yourself and put the emotion in it, like how Nisha explained next, like how to do it. But once you visualize it, your brain's gonna think that it's pretty much already happened.
Right.
And that kind of thing will be easier to attain.
Right.
So that's like kind of the gist of, I mean, there's more to it, but we're gonna kind of keep this video a little smaller. So.
And it says like, there's a doctor, Bruce Lipton, he tells you that basically like what we live is only 5%. Like our brain, like what we think, like the way we use it, but our mind, like even when you're idle and you're at work, your mind is going and it's thinking. And whatever you're thinking, 9 times out of 10, that's the situation, that's your life. Like if you have bad energy towards money, you're gonna be broke.
I have to read this. It just came out literally right here. It says, thoughts connect to your future. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. 90% of the thoughts are the same as the day before.
Each day.
The same thoughts always lead to the same choices. The same choices always lead to the same behavior. The same behavior creates the same experiences. The same experience creates the same emotions. Your biology and even your genetic expression is equal to what you think, what you act, and what you feel. These are my notes, y'all. I write this shit down like every day. So like that's
read
like
that very beautifully.
Thank you, cousin. Because you know sometimes I'll be stuttering.
No, you did that. You did really well.
Thank you.
So like what you're constantly thinking about, that's what's happening to you. Like they say, like even there, it's proven. Let's say you get sick and the doctor tells you you're gonna have this and you have 4 weeks to live. If you believe that because he is a professional and we trust in the doctor or whoever's in place to tell us what to do, that's what we just go on. But no, you can heal yourself. Think that it's gone. Like you gotta get your mind in that mindset. So anyway,
that's why the Bible says, walk by faith and not by sight.
Not by sight. And everything with law of attraction is it leads to the Bible. Everything is in the Bible.
Everything is in the Bible. Like that's why it's visualization. It's literally it's like, first of all, God gave us an imagination. Yeah. Use it. Like there's
energy
a reason
is real. We are made of energy.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so let's stay on topic.
You can get so into it. Okay, so let's stay on topic. Okay, so visualization.
So
not only do you need to write down what you want, but you need to visualize it. And you need to feel the emotion of it. Have you ever, like, I was telling her, I have this vision and it constantly comes to me. Like, me coming into large sums of money and buying property, but like me giving my cousin a check and a deed to property, like for her and her husband and her family. Like that's literally a vision that like when I tell you I can't escape it and it constantly like replays in my mind. I've never told her before up until today, but it replays like, and I feel the emotion of it. Like when I think about it, like I feel like I feel it. I see it in my mind. Like I see myself doing it for her and surprising her, and her being like, whether I see her crying, like getting emotional, like I see everything in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. So, number one, you need to get in a quiet place, and you have to really concentrate. You have to quiet the mind, which is, it's tricky at first when you start, but you do have to quiet your mind, because other thoughts will start to come in it. Because again, like we said before, your mind's programmed because you've been
Conditioned. You programmed it.
It's already
It's
been
a computer.
programmed from our family to the media. Because believe it or not, that's why marketing, people who are in marketing, they make so much money, and it's because
They're programming you
there's
to
a
think
science
the same.
behind it. You need to set your mind in place like that for things that you want. So number one, you got to concentrate on it. Write it down, read it, look at it, repeat it, visualize it. I don't care if you visualize it once a day, twice a day. The more, the better.
Yeah, and
But
I think the biggest thing is consistency. though.
consistency. But this is
Yeah.
the thing: when you read it and you write it with that energy, but let go of it. It's hard to kind of grasp that concept, but you gotta let go. Like, don't obsess over to the point where you're like, oh my god, it's not happening.
And I think I talked about this before, how like when I was just kind of like rebuilding myself and really getting into like a more positive space. I remember I was telling Nisha, like, you know, I was like, okay, I need like a job. Like when I model, I have to pretty much wait for my agency to send a job. And I was like, okay, like, when is it gonna come? And like, I know it's gonna come. I trust it's gonna come. But then I was always like, every time my phone would go off, I'm like, ding, I'm like looking at it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would just every morning say, I trust God that God's gonna, you know, He's gonna provide. He's gonna take care of me. I'm doing, obviously, when you visualize something and when you're putting yourself in a position to get something, you have to meet halfway. You just can't say, I trust God and not faith without works is dead.
Put that footwork in.
Yeah, you have to do the work as well and meet it halfway. But the point is, like Nisha said, is that you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, it's not gonna happen. Because if you don't believe it,
that's like half-assing anything that you do. Like,
but you can't really do it.
Just do it a little bit.
But if I'm gonna approach anything and I really believe starting out that it's not for me and it's not meant, I'm not gonna have it.
Yeah.
Then it's not gonna happen. You really gotta believe like everything.
Like, this is mine. This is gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah, and then visualize yourself getting it, because then even then you start to figure out how. Like I literally before this year, I write it down. I wish I can like show you guys in my manifestation book that Nisha gave me every day, every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And we're recording on my phone, so I can't see. I have my alarm goes up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't even really use it because I wake up naturally.
Yeah.
But I write 2019 is the year of mental growth, spiritual growth, physical growth. And when I like that's what my year is about. You know what I mean? Like
transparent, and I appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you.
That's kind of like, that's private.
It's private, but I really wanted this year to be a year of like, I think
prosperity.
with people, with just growth. Like I just want to grow, and I'm like at a point where I'm like I want to grow, and I'm learning to also not be too hard on myself, because any growth is good growth. You know what I'm saying? Like it may not be like a massive amount of growth, but I know that my faith is like phenomenal. I feel so excited with the relationship that I've built with God, and like the trust that I've built.
I'm getting
emotional. No, we're always crying on here, y'all.
We're crybabies.
But like that's one thing that I write down and I visualize. So even when the days start and I realize like, okay, I haven't read anything that's making me grow, or I haven't made the best I haven't made the best health decisions, or I haven't poured into somebody else, because one thing I want to do is I want to motivate, inspire other people. So if I haven't did nothing that's all lining up with the growth of what I write down every day, I figure out how to do it. So the thing is, when you visualize something and you're gonna figure out, when you put that emotion to it, you're naturally going to figure out how to get there.
When you're visualizing and you literally see that here, you can't help
You can't help it. You can't escape it.
You get excited, or like, even like when you think about when you think about something sad, you feel it. Like it makes you cry, it makes you emotional. So when you're thinking about your future and you're thinking about things that you want, again, okay, back to what we're talking about, visualization, like you need to feel it and you need to quiet everything. What I used to do when I first started, I would even tell my daughter, like, I need at least 5 to 10 minutes, and I need everyone to just leave me alone.
Yeah.
And family's like, what? Like, maybe alone? Like, no, but no. And I would go in the bathroom downstairs, and I would turn off the light, and I would, like, breathe calmly. Like, I would work on my breathing first, because that's another thing. Because you start, like, you start breathing, like, well, you do like visualization sometimes, and some people, like, I know when I first started out, like, I would not breathe. I'm like holding my breath, and I'm trying to, like, you know, like, relax. But work on your breathing first, get it right, kind of like calm yourself, and then start thinking or visualizing that thing that you want. If it's that house, if it's that car, your spouse, having a better mindset, having a better life, whatever it is, you got to get in that space first.
To get yourself there.
To get yourself there.
And I would say, like Hanisha said, like about the time, I think if you're just kind of getting into it, find something specific so maybe you don't overwhelm yourself.
That works for you.
Yeah, so maybe if you just want to right now focus on your health and making better healthy choices, maybe just visualize yourself every day in the morning. I think visualize yourself making healthy choices so that throughout the day you actually make healthy choices. Just start small, you know, like as Lisa, I really like her. Lisa, I can't think of her name, the one that I really love.
I know, I can't remember.
Anyway, she says micro wins leads to a macro win. So like just focus on something small that you can visualize, and when you get better and get to like, I'm not saying like we're like visualization experts or anything like that, but I think that we've been doing it for a long time to kind of cram in like everything, and you just, once you get it, you're so excited, like, oh, I want to visualize this, oh, I want to see what I look like doing this, and oh, you know.
Yeah.
But
do that. So there's some breathing exercises I used to watch, and it's kind of like, should we do it? Okay, so, well, let's do it. Let's get you guys started. If this is really something that you're into, you're gonna watch, you're gonna do it. Okay, so the first thing is, well, let's quiet our minds. So first, let's start with, on a count to 10, we're gonna do it in tens. And the first thing is breathe in. Let's count to 10.
Through your nose.
And breathe out on a 10. And we're gonna do this 3 more times. Like, believe it or not, it sounds like people are like, oh my God. But like, it literally, it calms you, because once you start sitting still, your heart starts palpitating and your mind starts thinking a bunch of crazy shit that it doesn't need to. It's like, oh my God, I'm in danger.
There's something about when you breathe in through the nose, it does something or releases something to the brain that does give you like a really calming.
Yeah, we'll do it 3 times. So we're gonna do in 1 more time, and then we're gonna do out. So let's go, and we're gonna do a count of 10. So let's close our eyes. Did you feel calm already?
I do feel calm.
So do that 3 times first. Oh my God, I'm like, shit. Before you start your visualization, just to get you like in calm spirits, and get you in that space, and literally close your eyes and go to that space. Go to that place wherever it is. Like, even if you single,
you see your best self.
If you single and you want to be a wife, you want to be a husband, and you want to be like a great spouse, visualize you in that space and with that partner, with that person that you would want to be with. Visualize that. I guarantee you it's going to come to you.
And I'm gonna just, I know this video's kind of going along, but like when she said like the great spouse, like that is something that I'll write down. I'm like, I want to be the best spouse I can be to my husband. Granted, I think a lot of things with being the best spouse to someone else comes about being the best person you can be for yourself and to yourself. But when it's real, because when I visualize myself as being the best wife in the morning, I do this daily. That's one thing that I really want to do. And like, when you're married, and I know this might be a little bit of oversharing, when you're married or you've been in a relationship for so long, sometimes intimacy is not always, it's not always a natural thing. It sounds silly to say, but it's not. And even in the Bible, there's something I really wrote down. I'll share it with you guys next time, but it says that a woman needs to know that, you know, intimacy is not something that comes natural, that we have to take place and make those things happen. So when I visualize myself as being a good wife, it's not just intimacy, but it's how I respond to. So when we have a disagreement in the day, in the midday, or like, I'm like, okay, I've had that moment and I've visualized myself as the best wife, so my response is different now. Like, I feel like I really honestly feel like I've grown so much in this last 6 months. And I'm not just saying that to seem like toot my horn.
And 6 months, like, just your whole relationship, you've constantly grown.
Yeah, you too, cousin. I think that we both have like really been like, it's
we've
part of like
come
responses.
into like before I used to be like, oh, I'm a grown ass woman, but I can say that I've come
Very
into
defensive. I think we both come
Yeah.
out of a very defensive space.
Yeah, very.
Because
very.
we really want when you want to receive to be a better person, you
Yeah.
respond differently. Even like when I come into a situation where I might be a little, when I know she's gonna irritate me,
Right.
I try to come
Like
in
I
with
said when at the thing, there's somebody made a certain comment, but I didn't respond to it.
yeah,
Like,
because
I'm just in different
you've
spaces,
already
like, okay.
visualized yourself as your best self. So regardless of what comes throughout the day, you have that in the back of your mind because you did that at 6 o'clock in the morning. So you know how you want to respond.
Right.
I know this video is kind of going on. It's probably gonna be like a 20-minute video. I don't even know if it's going to
But-
upload it. But happy
whatever.
visualization. Happy positive
Happy
Wednesday.
Positive Wednesday.
Namaste, hoes.
Namaste, bad.
We can't be hoes in.
And look, if you want to cuss, you can cuss. Whatever.
That's
make you a
not make
bad
it bad
person.
person. Because I say it and I say
It's
shit and I love to. Happy visualization.
Happy visualization, yes.